When Steel talks, everybody listens.
This is When Steel Talks, and we have the opportunity to sit down with Mr. Yohan Popwell, arranger for Sonatas Steel Orchestra in Brooklyn, New York. Welcome to the customary set of our When Steel Talks, sitting down, and we have the opportunity to chat with you and just hear where things are at and talk a bit about this task before you, that of together with Sonatas Steel Orchestra, bringing home a triple crown, which is what the band is aiming for this year for the 2011 New York Panorama, having been a championship arranger with the band for 2009, 2010, and you, like them, are hoping to take it away. So welcome to When Steel Talks once more, and let's hear where you're at and how are things so far.
And once again, thank you for having me. Yes, it's that time again where we are going towards Panorama, hoping to win again. And it's hard because when you win once, it's fun. You win twice, it's even more fun. But then you have to really put on your thinking cap if you want to win a third time
In a row.
Yeah,
A three-peat.
You have to think smart, and this is the second time I'm actually going for a three-peat.
Okay.
Not in America, but one in Trinidad and now one here.
So what have you done so far, beside of course working on the arrangement, bringing the band to the best that it can be at this point in time? What is your timeline like?
Well, this song itself is finished, let me use the term, in the rough.
And it's showtime.
It is showtime, yes. Sung by Anselm Douglas, and it's composed by Edwin Pushet and Alvin Daniel. This song, as I said, it's finished. What went through my mind for the last couple of days is when the band draw the numbers. Now, you know, the band has drawn number 3, which is early. Still have the other big bands to come behind us. That made me put on my thinking cap a little more. Because, you know, you could, when the thing starts going, everybody's in the mood, but when you have to start, we have to put on an excellent show. So when I heard we draw 3, I just smiled. I said, you know what? I have to go back home now and sit down and decide if I was going to do this here, I have to do it somewhere else, or how early or how late, because you have to do it. It's just a mindset you have to have. Because you can't win whether you play early or late. It doesn't make a difference. Because we did win in 2009. I think we played the same. We were supposed to play 2, but we played 3. It might happen again this year. We might play 4 instead of 3.
If Sesame Flyers
comes in, you know. So, but it's just a matter of rethinking
the strategy.
Yeah, the strategy of knowing, alright, you're playing earlier. Because when everything is in the mix, it's alright to come and just do your thing. But when you're early, you have to realize, how do I set the standard? And I am working towards that. I'm smiling inside because, you know, they're not going to hear everything from me on an interview. But
of course, you need to keep some things private.
Yeah, but I'm smiling on the inside because I know. Let me just crack this joke. It's interesting that, you know, when they pull the numbers, everybody's so happy that Sonatas pull that early number, and the players at first they're gonna be like, we wanted to play low. I said, listen, you have to remember, somebody has to play first and somebody has to play last, you know. So putting that aside, just rethink what you have to do and go there and do a better job of it. But we're working. Sonatas, they are working. The players are having fun. I try to always think above everything. You know, you will get negative feedbacks every now and again for whatever reason. I try to always think, you know what? You keep your composure, meaning me. Because if I don't keep my composure, it sends the same message out to the members. So regardless of what a player might come and say this or come and say that, I'll still be like, don't worry about that. We have to do what we have to do, don't worry about nothing. Just don't panic, don't think about nothing, just think about going up on stage and performing.
So with the song finished more or less in the rough, we are looking at less than 2 weeks before the competition. You have your full complement of 100 players?
We have probably in the late
well?
80s, they're coming to practice, because there are some people who I send music for online, and they would be coming from this week, but they would come with, if the tune is 100%, they would come with at least 90%. So the 10% they will bend it in the yard, and fine tune it in the yard. So but the tune is almost finished. We have a very large side, as I said, maybe close to 90 in the pan yard now, and some more still to come. So, but you know, you still have to weed through all that and see who has the song properly and And then this is the week where I would break down the song, where if a person comes to hear the song, they may not hear it unless they're very patient at the very end of the practice, because this is the week where we would go over the verse, go over the chorus, make sure people are rolling where they're supposed to roll, hitting where they're supposed to hit, the different things
Nuances.
that you do every year, yes,
Yeah.
you know, because you want what people listen for. I'm also a judge in school panorama in Trinidad, so what people listen for is how do they play the verse and chorus, if the band plays it together, there's a little, and I as a pan player understand these things, and I will do these things for this week. That's why I always try to finish my song at least 2 weeks in advance. So the next 2 weeks is just to clean up, boring practice, clean up, enjoyable practice, have a little fun with it. You know what, just show them. Yeah, and as I said, because of the number 2 now, you have to really be meticulous and make sure all the T's or I's are dotted or crossed or how they say it, you know.
So it's Showtime, the choice of song. How did that come about? Do you know, were you told this is the selection for 2011, or were you consulted, or how did that come?
This is a lovely question, and let me give you the fun of the answer now. When I left Trinidad, I had liked Showtime. I had actually liked more than anything else Trini. I had actually liked it more than anything else, and I said, with my experience, I would do a wonderful job of Trini. I just knew that. I just know how to cross over stuff and change stuff. But anyhow, then when I reached there, I heard this band's playing Trini, that band's playing Trini, that band's. I say, you know, don't even give yourself all that headache no more. Because after a while, when too much people play the same song, the first band that comes with it gets that crowd response, and you don't know what number you're picking then at the same. I mean, it would be nice now because we pick a very early number. But anyhow, I passed over on Trini, and I liked Showtime, but the members, and this is honest, the members liked, most of the members, not all the members, most of them liked, some of them liked Showtime, and some had liked a song called TKO. Yeah, some of them had liked a song called TKO. And some of them are passionate about it. But I remembered, as they say, with age comes reason. When I was going for my hat trick in Trinidad, I really overworked myself with calypso music. Very good tune, but I think mentally I was trying to impress so much.
You put too much into it.
Right, so I overworked myself, and I said, you know what? And even when I did TKO, the verse and chorus had so much stuff inside it. It reminded me one time, you know what? Pull back, without telling them, and then to come to the tune, I said, okay, we did Showtime. Normally I might have played the game and said, do Showtime, play TKO, play Showtime, play TKO. Then I might just have fun and say, alright, they're going to come 4, or they play all they want.
You've done that in the past.
Right,
yes.
I say, I ain't doing that this time. No, even though they had played, even though I had done that and they had played TKO, it still was up to me to decide what to do. So I said, you know what, not even go in that direction. Hear what I said to them. And this is the fun part about it. I said, listen, I know some of you all are going to be happy, and I know some of you all are going to be sad. Just so that before I tell them what tune I'm deciding to go with. And then I said to you, I'm giving you all tonight to be happy or to be sad. And then tomorrow, we're going down like a band, regardless of what, I still didn't call the song, regardless of what the song is, yes, you know. And then I said, okay, the song is Showtime. And then you heard the sadness in it. So I said, okay, so we'll have practice finished early tonight, so you all could mourn or sulk or whatever, or rejoice. And that was the fun, because I had to do it that way, because I had to say, you know what, one of the reasons why I picked Showtime, Sonatas is going for their hat trick. TKO was not as known. It was not as known. It played in Trinidad. I'm not saying it didn't play, but it was not as known as Showtime is known. And I found that I had more room to work with in the different parts of its Showtime. I found that I had more room to, not that I couldn't work with TKO because I did TKO. I just said, you know what, you're going for a hat trick, you want when it, just like Trini, you want when you're walking up, people have an idea of what you're playing. You know, and I said, you know what, let me just make a mature decision now. It's 5 or 8 years later from the last time I was going for a hat trick. Let me do things a little bit different. But you know, funny enough, about a week ago, some of the senior players, you know, I might call probably like Ryan and Line and different players, come and say, I am so glad you took this song. And deep inside I said to myself, good, that's experience. I didn't tell them that, but I said in my mind, that's experience. Yeah, because they were really passionate about TK, you know, well, some of them. And I just say, Yohan, and I keep singing, should I do TK? I say, Yohan, don't fall for that, don't fall for that. It's a beautiful song, but it limits you, and then it's a minor key already. It's very similar to bandoleros, very similar in the structure and so forth. I said, nah, don't limit yourself to that. But when they came and tell me, I'm glad you, because it realized they slept on it, they started playing and they realized how the tune is going down, the things are going a certain direction, and they said, yes, I see why you picked this tune now. And it's a song where there are certain songs where you, like I did solo harmonize this year, and it was a serious test to me because the song was so full of music. That's momentum. It was so full of music. I didn't know, and I shouldn't say I didn't know what to do, but I had to keep walking around my house or my area and train out where I work, and just say, all right, where should I go? How should I? But eventually the song came across very nice. I don't have that problem with Showtime. It's just a nice flowing tune. You can take a line and just play with that line, and the audience would be with you.
Yeah.
Because I never like when they listen to a panorama tune and
you have to wait for the audience to catch up.
Right, because the arranger goes into some genre of music, and it's not, he or she is not playing anything familiarized with the tune, and then a minute later or 2 minutes later, then he jumps back into the tune.
Yeah.
And judges, they do listen for that. So with Showtime, I had wave to put it in any groove and still hear it's Showtime, or practice, or whatever the lines I'm using. You can still use it while things are going on, and I'm really comfortable. Yeah, many nights I sit down and shake my head and say, this song is nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, this is your 8th year in the Panorama Arena in New York. In a nutshell, what do you think is different, or what feels different to you from 2004 preparations and your entire Panorama experience in New York to 8 years later, 2011?
You know what, to be honest, because my approach is the same, meaning how I work out things, it feels the same to me. Because as I was telling Miss Highland this morning, I said I wanted some things done in the past with sonatas. I didn't get it done, meaning whether if it was a costuming or decoration or whatever the case may be. And I didn't let it worry me. I remember one time a player said, I'm not comfortable playing next to this player. I didn't let it worry me, and it happens almost every year that there's something to make you say, this is not what I wanted, you know. But I always tell them at the end of the day, when we hit that museum stage, I don't care if somebody's missing, they're not there. At that point in time, don't stress yourself out. Because as I said, there are things I had wanted and it didn't happen, and I guess on stage, you know what? You want to just let them enjoy themselves, because that is their moment.
That's the key.
You cannot study, we got the drummer missing. If the drummer missing, we have substitute people in the band, sit down on the drum set. If I had to pull it by yourself at the side and say, listen, you are the drummer. You know the tune, don't even worry yourself. He or she, that's how you have to approach it. They can't study, who got the drummer in there, and they start panicking, or the conga man in, turn a play after, stop playing, turn a pan and go on conga. Somebody, because
step into it.
The show have to go on. And I learned that over the years that, you know what, as my friend and I would say, if you can't fix it, don't worry about it there and then. When you're done, go on, try and fix it. If you still can't fix it, don't worry about it. Because when you worry about it, are you fixing it? You're still not fixing it technically, if you could fix it. So for over the last couple of years, I have had the same mental where the band has to go out there, the management is very nice to me, they're very respectful to me, the players are also, people can't imagine how I get so much of cooperation and respect from the band, because from day one, I demanded that.
But that's also a Sonatas trait.
Right,
Sonatas,
exactly.
You know, that is also a trait they've always had, so it's definitely a good fit.
What I've learned over the years too is mannerisms of individuals. So you know there are certain individuals you wouldn't want to call out in front of the band, and certain ones you can do it. The ones you don't, you walk up to them and say, I don't like what you're doing. The ones you could do, my boy, hey Jones, well, I'm telling you, stop doing that now. You could, because this person, but I've learned that because I've been with them now for a long while. So you learn how to bend corners, how to make people feel comfortable. It's a process. But the first 2 years actually was the worst, but honestly it was in sense of getting to know them. I used to be like, what is wrong with this show? And something wrong with them, but then they realize, no, that is how they are. So you have to get through the mix and then start to talk to them a certain way.
Let's talk just for a couple moments about Pat Bishop.
Oh yes.
Who passed away yesterday as to the date of this interview. I mean, she was an incredible personality, irreplaceable, as is the general consensus. We understand that, of course, you worked with her almost one of like her proteges at one point, just share with the global pan community some moments that really resonate with you when it comes to Dr. Pat Bishop, the late Dr. Pat Bishop.
You know what? I heard it yesterday, and I get very emotional when it comes to death. It's like I can't understand it. I mean, there are explanations for it, but it's still because you're not going to see the person again, so you just don't understand it. But in my memories of Pat, she was always a beautiful lady. I remember I had a friend named I think he's up here, Sean Richards, and he was very close to Pat, but he had to move away for whatever reason. And in the days of knowing Pat, she would always tell us things like, stick to what you're doing and you will get better at it. Stick to what you're doing, don't compromise, and you will get better at it. I remember the times when she was working with Exodus, and I went up there a couple of times, and I was just amazed, and that is where I get some of my, what's the word to use? Don't take any, I don't know if the word is crap or whatever, a word that doesn't sound too bad on live telly. And she was very disciplined in anything she do. And I see she had Exodus. I knew she worked with this was another band, and even with All-Star, but I noticed her at Exodus. And she would have big men, adults, as cool and as calm as ever. And then this way you realize that's a talent. Because to get a whole band to just stay quiet or say, I am working with this section, but I don't want anyone to leave. And these are the things I do now, and when I do things, I would have my whole band, I would say, listen, I'm going to show the bass line something. Nobody don't coast. No, and they do it because the way how you put it forward, no disrespect to nobody, but you are very assertive in what you do, and she was always like that. And yet still she was calm, She had a heavy voice, but she was calm. I remember when she did some song for Desperados, and all I was saying, a classical piece in festival. That thing was the most haunting thing in my whole life, and she was just up there looking majestic. And the band won. The band won from prelims to finals. No, I can't remember the song, but every time I hear this song, I'd be like, ooh, a kind of haunting kind of music, and she just on top of it, just waving her hands. But she had that personality of calming people, and she was not a light voice person. She was a very heavy voice lady. Well, of course, she was a big lady too at one time. But Pat will be greatly missed. She will be.
When it comes to the New York panorama scene and the Trinidad and Tobago panorama scene, there have been improvements recently, if one would put it that way, in terms of what the community has been able to accomplish. If you want to look at a $2 million prize, and if you want to look at the return to the Queen's Park Savannah as the competing arena, and you look at what's happening within the New York landscape, what are your thoughts on that?
I am truly disappointed with just how you start off with that $2 million. That I'll have to start right there. That is one of the reasons why the pan is technical. I don't want to use the word dying, but it's fading slowly but surely, because when I came here in 2004, I think we had maybe upwards of about 15 bands. And the next year before that was, and it had more before I came. And the prize money is not a good incentive. And I'm thinking that they make money on these occasions, the promoters, whoever is in charge, I don't know. And that's the opposite of Trinidad now, where a pan player feels a little more relaxed being in a band. Even though you still have the band hoppers, that's just something you can't get rid of. But the smallest band in Trinidad, meaning the single pan, I'll make that reference, the single pan bands get their first prize is much more than the first prize for a large band in New York. And I don't know if it's the organizers, if it's the people in charge, or who it is. I mean, why they can't just sit down and say this thing doesn't make sense? Because, I mean, if you check up the maths of coming to and from practice, it might cost you about $300-400 US for the season just to come to rehearsal.
And that's just per player.
Per player, right, exactly. And I was always saying that it's still not a lot of money, but the first prize should be at least $100,000 US, at least.
At least.
But I don't know who to talk to, and
we'd start with about $500,000 US.
Exactly. See, which is fine. But I
we'd start with that with a second prize of about $450,000.
Exactly. It should, and then you would get bands getting bigger, people getting loyal to bands because they know at the end of the day, you know what? I even say, but this is, I was kind of recommending this for Trinidad, that Panorama should really come where management, I'll say this now, where management start to make agreements with their players. I'm talking about Trinidad now because the money is there, meaning that the prize money is fairly decent, because when we started to play band, it was like 100-something thousand, which was still it was still plenty compared to New York, and now it reaches so much money. But they have to start breaking down prices. If we come first, if we come 8, you will get this guaranteed. If we come 7, 6 to 1,
so there's a contract between the band management and the players. You get a commitment, a dedication.
Yeah, so and the players, they would practice more. They would know, listen, we practice to come first, or they come in the first 3. You may not come because you're not the judge, you know, at the end of the day, or you're not the arranger. It's sort of
not necessarily an incentive, but at least a recognition of after all these times. It probably still will not pay them back for what they've really put in, but you know, here's something. It's a little bit more than a sandwich or something, but it's something.
Because I always say people don't mind knowing you having money, you know, as long as you know what you're doing with it. Meaning not your personal money, but if it's band money, you could tell the band, we have 10 million. That's fine, but we're planning to do this.
That and the other.
As long as they don't mind, but some people are away. They would not say we have 10 million. Let me tell them we have 6 because they know we want the rest. The rest is for them, but we're saving it up. Tell people, you know, but that's the next story by itself. So I think we should raise the prize money up here, though.
Yeah, this is New York after all. One wonders, because it's rather interesting when you hear, and not only hear, but it is documented in terms of city paperwork, what the Labor Day celebrations bring in. And
which I wouldn't know, but yeah, I'm sure it's documented here.
Yeah, it is. You know, you have billions floating around there, hundreds of millions, and for some reason, it doesn't seem to trickle down.
It should.
To people who make it really happen. You're talking about the mass bands. You're talking about Panorama. It's interesting. When you first came to the studios of Basement Recordings in 2004, it was your first time in the New York Panorama Arena. You were interviewed, and during that time you said that you were advised that this was Bradley's town, Clive Bradley. He's passed away, and now you have been at the helm of Sonatas for the past 8 years, and out of that there have been 4 championships in 8 years, and you're going for the 5th. It could be said that it is Popwell's town, of course, and Sonatas, but what are your thoughts when you think about how you were approached in 2004, now that you've proven that you have the metal, literally?
You know what? It's making me smile. You know why it's making me smile? I would definitely not say it's Popwell's tongue, but what I can say is this. Since 2004, I have kept myself and the band with the same work ethics. Meaning, I don't ever come here and say, I know they like me. I know that they know I will do good. They know I will do good music. I don't ever do that. I always come and I go upstairs, right where I am here now. I go upstairs, I sit down, and I don't ever listen to the old stuff I do, and I just sit down and say, you know what?
It's a new year.
How can I make this song different or within the same level? Because as long as you do the same level of work or even better, not below it, you're supposed to either come first, second, or third again. You're supposed to be up there right there. So I wouldn't say it's Popwell's tongue, but I would say Popwell works hard.
In this town.
In this town. Very correct. I work hard in this town. And I must compliment the players also, because they have grown to know me. They all respect me. And they all... I know what I do sometimes, why I say I don't just do things by guess. When I do something, sometimes I stay from a distance without letting them see me watching them, just to see the shake head of, yeah boy, this is interesting. And I think that is what keeps me going every year. Saying to myself, how can I change the key without letting them know? How can they realize how I got from here to there? Just keep them guessing, you know, keep them guessing. But every single year, I put in the same work. I normally sit down from maybe around 11 in the day till about 4 or 5 in the evening. Stop when the stomach can't take it no more and you have to eat. But my work ethics is what has made the band successful and the band deserving of being successful every year. So put it how you want. That's how I say it.
I hear you. Well, Mr. Popwell, really, really nice to have the opportunity to sit down with you before the 2011 Panorama is upon us, and congratulations for your accomplishments, yours and of course Sonatas Steel Orchestra during the last 8 years, and wish you all the best in the three-peat that you and Sonatas Steel Orchestra are going for.
Thank you.
Come September 3rd this year.
And may I just say a big hi to the management of Pan Sonatas, to all my players. I ain't calling no name because I go forget a name and everybody go vex me. All here. I'll see you all in practice on Monday.
Thank you.
When steel talks, everybody listens.